This is Newsmax TV. I'm Ashley Martella, and we're on the line with author, columnist, and regular Newsmax contributor Dick Morris. Hey, Dick.
Well, good to be here.
This special election in upstate New York, while the final result is yet to be known, some feel this should have been a slam dunk for Republican Jim Tedisco, since it is a Republican district and there's been growing disenchantment with Obama's massive tax and spend binges. Did something go wrong? If so, why?
No, I don't put that interpretation on it at all. My feeling is that it was a terrific showing for the Republican. This is a seat held by a Democratic congresswoman in one of the bluest of the blue states, 70 days after a president was overwhelmingly elected who's a Democrat, while the honeymoon is still there. Let's remember that 57% still approve of what Obama is doing. And the fact that Tedisco came so close that the absentee ballots might put him over the top, I think, was an extraordinary showing.
Yeah, but Dick, isn't that a Republican district, though? It's not. Not compare it with Manhattan or New York City. That's a Republican area, isn't it?
Yeah, I know the voter registration and stuff indicates, and its vote in some presidential races indicate that it could be Republican. But a Democratic congresswoman is in there, and she was elected and reelected. To expect a takeaway to the Republican Party this early in a president's administration, I think, is facile. I think that what it really demonstrates is that Obama is in trouble. The fact that he can't win an election like that by a significant margin, I think, really shows that people are beginning to tire of his agenda. His approval rating started at about 65, and now it's down to 55 to 57. And I think that you're going to find it slipping further as more and more negative data comes in and people more and more are convinced that he's not bringing us out of this recession.
Does it appear the Democrats are trying to steal this election for Scott Murphy in the same way as many believe they stole it for Al Franken in Minnesota?
Well, I don't know yet. The election was only yesterday. We need to look at it. But certainly if anybody makes the case that we shouldn't count absentee or military ballots like Franken was trying to do in Minnesota, and may still be trying to do, then obviously we need to focus on that. This election was held at a particular moment when Obama had a very slight recovery. He had been at about 55 approval, and the day of the election, the nationally was up to 58 because of his foreign trip and because of the ephemeral information that the economy might be getting a little better, the stock market and a couple of other indices. I think that that's fool's gold. I think that that's a false dawn, and I think that it's going to become apparent that this recession just is going to grind on and on and on. But I think that he may have benefited a little bit from that uptick. But the issue is not why didn't the Republican win. The issue is why didn't the Democrat win by a lot.
If Tedisco does wind up being the loser in this election by either an honest count or otherwise, what would that say about RNC Chairman Michael Steele, do you think?
Oh, I don't think much at all. I think the Republican Party did a great job in this election. The independent expenditures, like the GOP trust, was massive in that district. And I don't think that you can fault Steele. I don't think you can fault anybody. Let's not be cannibals about this. This is very early into the president's term, and if indeed he's lost an election, it was very close, and the closeness of it is enough to make me very happy, not unhappy today.
But Steele made this such a big deal. I mean, that was in his political crosshairs, this election. And he succeeded.
He made it a very, very close election. You can't look at this election result as anything other than an unbelievably close election at a time when the president is still riding his honeymoon.
All right, Dick, let me ask you this question. It's rephrasing probably an earlier one, but you were a great political advisor to Bill Clinton. If you were advising the Republican Party leadership right now, what would you tell them to do?
To hammer away at Obama's spending program, to go after his socialist agenda, to attack his takeover of the auto industry, his, in effect, takeover of the banks, and to warn of the deficits, the tax increases, and the spending ahead. The more you focus on the specifics of Obama's program, the more unpopular it becomes. The more you focus on Obama personally, the more you run afoul of his personal popularity.
Dick Morris, as always, thanks very much for talking with Newsmax here.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Newsmax TV.